Gentlemen, in this video, we are going to be discussing how you can become the all-round best guy in the room. You know, you can think about like footballers who are really athletic, who have a lot of money. They might not have those social skills. You can think about politicians that have tons of money, who might be quite intelligent, but they lack the physical abilities. If you can be above average in all of these different areas, you're going to be the best guy in every single room. It doesn't matter if you're around celebrities. It doesn't matter if you just if you're in the gym. Like if you've got all the boxes ticked, you're going to be an absolutely exceptional character. And that's what we're going to be discussing within this video. It's going to be quite an in-depth video. The way I want to do these videos, guys, is it's not just me talking to you and giving you advice, because I'm a young guy as well. I'm doing exceptionally well without boasting or sounding too cocky, but I'm doing well. But I'm still learning along the process. And I just want to set an example for other guys. I want to be a positive influence to the world, which I don't think most of the self-improvement influencers out there are. Because that's what they are. They're just influencers, guys. They're not there to help you. They're there to sell you a course. I run 2 businesses already. If I want to do coaching or something in the future, fine. Like if I want to do some sort of community, I will. But this isn't like a quick money grab. I understand there's not too much money in this whole space, especially someone that's doing it part-time like me. I'm genuinely here to just increase my chances to get into heaven, pretty much. I mean, like, I'm not Christian or anything, but like, I'm just trying to do good in the world, you know? So let's jump straight into it. So, this video is titled Self-Actualization, if it will load. So, self-actualization, I'll give you the definition shortly, but in a nutshell, it's how to become your best self. And this video is going to be about self-auditing, looking at your life, and then going ahead, taking the actions required to go ahead and improve yourself, pretty much. Why does the world admire James Bond? Now, this is an interesting question. Why do people not admire other characters who are in action films as much? It is because James Bond is an all-round fantastic guy. He's got his fashion on point. He's a very clever guy. He can fight. He can shoot weapons. He can drive fast cars. He gets beautiful girls. He travels to multiple different countries, and he doesn't boast about it. Like, he subtly brags, which is a great term. That is why people admire James Bond, which is going to be the whole gist of this video. Not James Bond specifically, but the reasons people admire him. James Bond is a Renaissance man, and a Renaissance man is a guy that is capable in many different areas of life. You will find flaws in all the different people you look up to. Politicians like Donald Trump, you know, they're mega rich, they're mega successful, I guess they're quite intelligent, but most of them are in awful shape. A lot of them don't even know how to tie a tie properly. The red pill guys out there, these shitty influencers, they're in fantastic shape because most of them are on steroids, but let's not get into that. But a lot of them are just arseholes. They're not well-rounded individuals. They're just there to sell you a course. And they're very manipulative, and there's just a lot of flaws in these guys. Professional athletes, great shape, mega rich, but you can look at interviews and a lot of them sort of lack those social skills. And then your goal is simply to become above average in all areas of life. That is what this video is about, guys. This is about the straight 7 system. A good friend of mine, Chris, first man, he put this whole system together. So I can't take credit for it, but I'm going to give you my own take on it. I'm also going to reference to myself throughout this video. But let's look at, I've split it up into a few areas of life. I know Chris does it differently with a few other categories and stuff. But I just sort of want to generalize it. And it's not specifically these categories. You could work in a different area, you could be in different circles, so your categories might look a bit different. I Can't think of an example off the top of my head, but maybe if you're like a chess guy, chess might be on here. It's just an example, especially if you do it professionally. You might want something like this, but that's just a stupid example. But your categories might look slightly different. But these are pretty general ones that I think most of you guys will resonate with. So, 7 out of 10 in all of these areas. We've got life setup, which is like where you live, the chances of bumping into quality people, how much you travel, etc., what car you drive. Health and fitness, which is your physique, your fighting ability, how you think, how you feel mentally. Finances, how your career is, how much money you make, how much money you save, your projected income for the future, your character, sort of what you speak about, how you dress, how you look, things like that, your way of speaking, how you speak, relationships, how many dates you go on, how many girls you approach, the quality of the women you meet, and it also goes into your brotherhood, the guys you surround yourself with, your family. I'm very family orientated. I meet them a couple of times per week. So this guy is a 7 out of 10. But this guy, he's in fantastic shape. He's like a world-class athlete. He's in fantastic shape. Like, girls are always locking eyes with him. But here's the thing about this guy. He lives in a very small studio flat in London. It might be a nice area, but like if you bring a girl back to that place, she's not going to be too impressed. Finances. He makes a bit of money off sponsorship on social media. He doesn't do too much. He works at a restaurant on the weekends to up his money, but he's on no more than 3k per month. Character, 2 out of 10. He's a bit awkward. He's a bit shy. He doesn't really excel in too much other than fitness. But yeah, he's not too clever. He's not got much going for him in that respect. And relationships, he goes on a couple of dates here and there. He does okay with girls, but they're not the best looking girls. They're not the highest quality of women. But yeah, he's in fantastic shape. But like, who would you say the more well-respected guy would be in that situation? Who would be the better guy in that situation? Who'd be more respected? Who's the higher quality guy? I'd 100% say this guy. Because as we discussed earlier, you've got politicians, you've got athletes that might excel in one of these areas or two of these areas, but they are fundamentally lacking in the others. So, here is my own analysis, because I said to you guys that this channel is about not only teaching you stuff, but sort of bringing it back to myself so you guys can see that I'm actually putting this into action myself. And it's a good anecdote as well, just to sort of help you guys learn. So I'd say my own life setup is a 6 out of 10. I mean, I'm 20 years old. I live in a big masonette. I mean, I'll go into it shortly in more detail. But yeah, nice apartment, nice car. Health and fitness, good physique. My finances are in order. My character, 6 out of 10. Relationships, 5 out of 10. So I've got a long way to go. I've got the fundamentals there. I mean, I'd say I'm pretty well rounded in general. But there is work to do to sort of get to that 7 out of 10 in some of these areas. But yeah, then we get into the self-actualization stuff. So self-actualization is the ongoing process of reaching your full potential. So it's about looking your life consistently every couple of weeks or every month and just saying, okay, we need to work on this in this area. And it's actually about going ahead and taking consistent action as well. Consistently audit your life and make improvements. So, as I said, we're going to go into each of these categories. There'll be other categories you might want to add as well, but this is just what I'm doing for this video as an example. This is just what I follow. It's very simple. I'm a simple guy. I just like following this framework. So life setup. Life setup is where you live, what car you drive, where you go, the quality and quantity of people you could bump into day to day. What I mean by that is, if you live in a small village, you might bump into uh, just like a couple of farmers or an old guy in the pub, because that's all that's there. I've lived in a village. That's pretty much all it is. But I've also lived in a larger place like Cambridge, and you'll go to a coffee shop, you'll see a beautiful girl, and you'll see another beautiful girl, and you'll see a guy sat there day trading, and you spark up the confidence to go start a conversation, and you've actually got a new member of your network. So that's what I mean by life setup. So I'm just going to read through this. I personally have a good life setup. I live in a big masonette property. I drive a Peugeot 308. Not the best car. I think it's a great car personally. It's very practical. I'd like to be driving something a bit nicer, but I mean, at my age, insurance is like through the roof for anything sort of better than that. I have access to a 6-bedroom property in Spain through I'm also a member of a couple of networking groups as well, where I get to go on sort of events where we all stay together for a couple of days and we network, we enjoy our time, go out for dinners, do cool events, which is pretty cool. I really recommend you guys get into something like that as well. I'm also on a direct line to Cambridge and London. I can get to either city in 30 minutes. In terms of improving my life setup, I would say that having more access to international properties and living in a busier area would be quite a big thing as well. So those are my next steps. That's something I'm actively working on. You're going to find some trends with this stuff, guys, because although money isn't a constraint for me, time very much is. It's actually having the time to actually go to these properties. Like, it just wouldn't make much practical sense for me right now. I'm just so busy with gym and running 2 businesses. It just wouldn't make practical sense. So you're going to usually find the pattern is time, or like if you're not making much money, money might be a constraint because you might not be able to afford to travel all the time. Let's move on to health and fitness. Health and fitness is how you look, how you feel, what you're capable of physically. So that could be fighting, that could be how much you can bench press, etc., how quickly you can run 100 meters. So I get a consistent 9 hours sleep. Sleep is the number one thing, guys. Like, more than anything, more than diet, more than training. It's the number one thing. I eat really clean unless I'm on a date or around the table with the boys. In that case, I'm gonna love a creme brulee or a tiramisu. But I weight train 4 times per week, and I do boxing, calisthenics, and sprints between that. But yeah, I'm a busy guy. Sometimes I don't even get a chance to do anything outside of that, but I always weight train 4 times per week. I feel that I have a high libido, high energy, good mental health, a good physique, good ability to fight, which has supported me through various situations and careers. Like, I've worked in security before. I mean, being able to box has helped me like more than I can explain, to be honest. It's given me that confidence. Winning my first fight just gave me the biggest confidence boost. It's the first time I truly felt like I'd really achieved something big. I would say that sometimes I have periods where I feel lost, and it takes a few days for me to snap out of it. It makes progress feel temperamental. Like, I've really improved upon this, to be honest. I used to get in ruts and I would literally be stuck for months. But it's something I do have a firm grip on. But I'd like to get to a point where this is something that affects me a couple of times per year. Finances. How much money you have, how much money you make, how you use your money, and your projected financial health for the future. So, I mean, just to give you an idea, my whole financial plans to get rich. I'll make a whole video on this, by the way. I've got the real estate company that I'm a partner in. Like, I get opportunities across my table all the time. It just requires capital. I put money away constantly. And in the future, I'd like to start investing in small businesses that are already established. Like, there are 70-year-olds all the time who are looking to sell up their businesses, and a young guy like me can come in, implement AI systems, really improve their margins, get more business through the door through things like paid ads. And that is sort of my financial plan. And just keep that capital and keep recycling that money to reinvest into property, improve these businesses. That is my whole plan. It's all about leverage though, guys. This isn't a video on becoming rich, but leverage what you have. It's either time or money. Like I used to work silly hours. I used to work in the real estate company, and even before this, I'd work as a chef, and then I'd go ahead and do bar work in the evening just to top my money up, and I just save and save and save. It's all I do. But it's about leverage, guys. And when you have that money, you leverage the money to either save you time or make you more money. So, I'm a partner in a real estate agency. I'm dealing with £1 million properties, large pieces of land. I have money aside to invest into new businesses, stocks and bonds. That's something I'll do. I recommend looking into self-invested pensions for their tax benefits as well. It's a little tip for you. I'll go look into that. I never dip into savings, but I have had months where I don't put money away because I get ahead of myself. I'm just quite extravagant when it comes to dates and stuff. I like giving girls an experience that no other guys can. Like, that sounds quite corny, but like when I take a girl on like a second date, for example, when I've actually got to know her, I quite like her. I'll take her to London or something. We'll have a really good night. It's just, I put more of an effort in than most guys do, and the girls appreciate that, and they never forget who I am. So that is something I sort of want to get a hold of. I want to maybe do that less frequently because that strategy really does work. I just like doing cool things myself, and bringing girls along is just an added bonus, right? But yeah, I think doing that stuff less frequently would be a good shout, especially for my financial future. But there's a whole category on relationships where that might actually contradict what I've just said, but it's just about weighing it up, guys. As for character, this is the important one because your character is everything. When you've got your character right, everything else falls into place. Your character is how you look, it's the way you dress. I mean, I go for quite an old money aesthetic. I wear a suit every day. Your grooming, like having a good skincare routine, getting your hair cut every couple of weeks, your style, how you style your hair, etc. How you talk. If you're going all the time, it doesn't read too well. If you're constantly taking pauses, I mean, like pauses are a lot better than using these filler words, but the way you talk, the way I talk isn't perfect. I find I use filler words a bit more than I'd like to, but it has got a lot better over time. You see, I did it then. What you talk about, this could be absolutely anything you're interested in, because I'll speak about this in a minute. I spend 30 minutes a day learning something new, learning about language, learning about history. I love philosophy as well. But yeah, just learn as many topics you're interested in as possible. So when you bump into a girl, you actually got something to talk about. And how you come across, this is sort of everything in a nutshell. How you come across, your body language, absolutely anything. So when you enter a room and you leave, people say, oh yeah, I really like that guy. Or they might even say, I didn't really like that guy at all. But how you come across, that's your character. I wear a suit every day, old money aesthetic, jumpers, sort of cream, olive, brown colours when I'm not working or if I'm abroad or in London. I speak clearly from my stomach and avoid filler words. I talk about world affairs, history, philosophy. I find I have a low social battery at times and can just stop listening if I'm disinterested. Should invest into language learning. I said about how I get disinterested. That is something I'm actively trying to work on. I think that a lot of that has been from just social media in the past, my dopamine system being fucked, but it's something I've got a lot better at, but it certainly is something I still need to work on. If I'm disinterested, sometimes I just zone out and it comes across quite rude. But as I said, it's something I'm trying to work on. And I think, although I can't stop myself being disinterested, I can change how I react about that. Relationships, how often you meet people, girls, friends or family. we're going to all have different priorities, right? The quality of the time you spend with them, so whether you're just taking a girl to McDonald's or you're taking her to the Ritz, they're very different things. The quality of the people, so you could be meeting a girl that's got a football t-shirt on, might be a bit overweight, is a little bit rude, vapes. She can be a lot less quality than the girl that spends time doing her makeup, wears a nice dress, smiles, is very positive, has a good mindset. I don't waste time on people who don't serve my purpose in life, because I spend a lot of time investing in the people around me. I invest in my family, I invest in my boys. I'm constantly calling them up to see how they're doing, see what they're working on. I hold them accountable as well. Like me and my closest friends, we are very tough on each other. We that masculine energy is very present. If one of us sort of is playing around, changing our mind constantly, we will hold each other accountable, and we all react in a positive way. We actually take that on board, and it's like, okay, mate, fair enough. Thank you for holding me accountable. We thank each other for busting each other's balls, pretty much. So I approach girls daily. I date girls multiple times per week. Spend good quality time with my boys. Me and the boys, we message each and every day, but we live around the world. We live in different parts of England. So it's not like we're meeting every day, but when we do, it's very high quality time. I'm also very family orientated. I meet my family 3-4 times per week. It's very quality time. My quality of relationships with girls is pretty low due to time. I find myself being slow to respond. I get a bit frustrated, to be honest, and I struggle to progress these relationships just because I don't give them enough attention, purely due to time. I don't think that's a good thing at all. I think if I don't want a relationship, I just shouldn't even go on the dates in the first place. If I'm actually looking for a relationship, I should be putting a bit more time into it. So that's just me keeping myself accountable. I mean, I'll be real with you guys. And guys, putting this into practice, you guys need to audit your life frequently, but not too frequently. Make a habit of every 1 to maybe even a month. Just look at your life and just say, okay, this area, life setup. I'm currently living in a crap little flat, or I'm living with my parents, and my next step is moving out, get my own place, getting a new car, or it might be I'm not going on any dates. I need to start approaching at least a girl a day. Make big, bold actions there and then. Don't wait, because you're just going to forget about it. If you're not going to make a habit of actually taking action, nothing will change. So if your goal is to become a competent fighter, it might be saying, okay, right now I'm going to message this local boxing coach on Instagram. Right now, I'm going to book myself a private session. Don't get too big-headed either. This is about one step at a time. Don't follow what I've said on here. You might be even further ahead than me. You might be a bit behind me in life. Like, not that it works like that. We all have different starting points. I don't mean to word it like that, but don't just copy what I've said. Just order your life and say, okay, if I change this by next month, I'd be very happy. I'd be pretty content. That's what you need to be, guys. And also, your systems eventually break down. Like, if I go back in my book, I've got right here, I've got a habit tracker. I followed that for like 6 days. That's going back maybe a year now. Yeah, literally a year. These habit trackers, they never worked for me. I do them for a couple of weeks, maybe a couple of months, but they'd always break down eventually. This is about just becoming the man that is capable of actually executing on what is necessary. Hopefully that makes sense, but that is it, guys. Systems eventually break down. You just need to become the man that is competent, that can actually go ahead and execute on this stuff. And just keep these goals and these targets circulating, guys. Make this into a document and just don't forget. Don't waste your time. So hopefully you enjoyed this video, guys. It has been a pleasure to put this together. I really like this style of video, and this is the kind of video that really helped me back in the day when I was first getting started. These kind of videos, they've helped me make a lot of money. It's just authentic, it's clear. And I really do hope it helped. So let me know what you think of this video in the comments, and I look forward to hearing from some of you.